with the WBC Super Welterweight Championship elimination bout scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout, Arthur Mercanti Sr. Introducing to you first on my right, ladies and gentlemen, he is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks and hailing from Sydney, Australia. He weighed in at 153 1/2 pounds. His record stands at 27 wins, 4 losses, with 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the WBC #1 super welterweight contender. Introducing the glamour with the hammer, Troy Waters. And his opponent across the ring on my left, ready to fight. Out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with multicolored trim, hailing from and representing Coupe Alto, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at a ready 153 pounds. As one of the young stars of boxing today, he is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 31 wins, no losses, 27 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world, introducing Felix Tito Trinidad. And once again, a referee in charge, Arthur Mercanti Sr., now to give instructions.
Can we take just a little of that Vaseline that's hanging off there? Look. Very little. That's all right. That's great. Good evening, gentlemen. You both received your instructions earlier in the evening. So shake hands now and come boxing at the bell. Good luck.
Felix Trinidad, one of the highest knockout ratios in boxing today, 87%. 17 of his last 18 opponents did not last the distance. Only Hector Camacho took him to the final bell in the last 5+ years. Averages about 4 rounds per bout with 7 first-round knockouts. And here's Troy Waters, involved in one of the more stirring rounds of '93 against Terry Norris. Round number 2. He was hammered in the first and then knocked Norris down with a right cross. Norris legitimately rocked, and it turned out to be a war the rest of the way. He's got a solid chin, but his face took a beating in that fight. 32 stitches over and under the eyes. Let's see what happens here tonight against Trinidad.
He felt very clear in his head that if he could have survived the cuts and got into the 7th or 8th round, that he could have stopped Norris, because Norris used so much energy to get him out in the first couple of rounds.
He told us that he feels Trinidad is not as physically strong as Norris, but what Trinidad looks can be deceiving.
He hit Trinidad with a good hook, and Trinidad countered right back with a hook.
Trinidad doubling up on the left hooks, but those were defended well by Waters. Waters says as soon as Trinidad hurts someone, they say, "I've had enough." He's not like that. He says he's not in awe of Felix. He respects him. But he added, he's coming up to my weight. His plan is to catch him while he is punching.
Very few people have been able to back Trinidad up too often, and right now Waters is doing a good job. Yuri Boy Campos did, but caught a tremendous beating on the way in.
Waters said defense will be a key for him tonight.
I've never seen Trinidad start really fast. He kind of boxes around for 1 round. If he gets knocked down in the second, then he gets it in gear. Otherwise, he takes his time. He's kind of methodical about things.
Trinidad is a notoriously slow starter, as you know, but not a bad finisher.
I wouldn't say not a bad finisher. I'd say an excellent finisher.
Yeah, and he's so different from Terry Norris. I'd love to see, you know, if he gets by Waters here. Norris and Trinidad. Norris, type of guy that just jumps right on you.
That was one of the modern-day dream matches. It really was.
Yeah. But Waters does have a good chin. He joked one reason why he got a steel plate in his jaw. He had his jaw broken 3 times, once in a car crash, 2 in fights. But Waters does look more physically imposing, but I don't know what that means against a guy like Felix Trinidad.
It means you take jabs an awful lot and better. It's like hitting the side of a building. It keeps popping. There's a nice...
Down goes Waters.
The left hook on the temple hurt him, Steve. That right hand was just like a, here, take that with you.
7, 8, 9.
Oh, he just made it. There, the right was window dressing. Let's see if he can finish him off in the first round. Trinidad pouring it on. A flash knockdown from a right.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He goes down again with 20 seconds to go.
5, 6,
Trinidad jumping up on the turnbuckle.
9, 10.
He's out. It's over. It's over with 10 seconds to go in round one. Felix Trinidad has won the bout.
Doesn't get too much better than that, does it, Steve?
Well, Waters had a rough little match today. He didn't have a chance.
At just about the stroke of midnight, the witching hour took place, and there it goes.
Well, I obviously, like everybody, thought Trinidad was going to win. I didn't think it was going to be this fast, though.
Or we'd have more of a contest from Waters. Waters would fight back more and try to at least, you know, connect with some good punches. He got hurt before he even got started. Not a very satisfying fight, but then again, this is the third man that he was scheduled to fight, so that's the way it goes.
You know, Steve, one good way to not worry about the second round knockdowns is to knock him right out in the first.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so much for the second round knockdown worries of Felix Tito Trinidad. All 4 of his knockdowns coming in the second round, but he disposes of Australia's Troy Waters in the first round.
Hardly worth the trip all the way from Australia. All right, let's take a look at that. And we'll see the delayed reaction of that. You see, that was
it was a left hook to the temple. It was a delayed reaction.
It was just like we saw the other one. It was over the ear.
There's no telling what can happen when you get hit in the temple. Watch it again. Watch that left hook right on the temple. There it is. And you can see the delayed reaction. His feet are not really under him. The right hand doesn't even really hit his head. Hits him in the shoulder. He was on his way to the canvas.
Yeah, the right hand had nothing to do with it. I mean, he almost dove for the canvas, but it's just that... all right, let's take a look at the second one because this one is a continuous just pummeling. Tito just decided over and under and up and over.
And not many of those punches are going through cleanly, but you know what? He's punching so hard, he's punching through the gloves, and a couple of shots that hit the head right there. The head. And just as many fighters have had problems with those head shots, as does Troy Waters.
And we also saw it go right through the gloves, Bobby. And, you know, I've always said, if you're punching very hard and your gloves up, you're feeling it through the gloves. I mean, the heavy punches like Foreman, List, and those guys.
Well, watch here. See that left hook to the head in that one?
Yeah.
Those two really finished him. Those two really got him hurt in that third one. That's the third one.
Right,
those shots to the temple, the same thing that got him down to start.
And so much for stepping up in weight being a problem for Felix Trinidad. There he is, scoring knockdowns at 208 and the final one at 236. TKO officially at 250, 250 of round one. Felix talking to the folks back home in Puerto Rico.